This kid's family owned a bounce house company. Every summer, they had this warehouse packed with the inflatable bouncy houses. There were obstacle courses with slides, tons of those giant blower fans to keep these things inflated. Well, one year, during the last week of school, this kid gets a brilliant idea. Monday morning comes, he walks into school carrying a giant roll of raffle tickets. $5 a ticket. Kids keep asking, "So, what do you win?" "You'll see Friday. But I promise, it's awesome." People are curious and they're buying tickets. Some people are pooling money with their friends because they know that this has got to be good. Friday comes. It's the last day of school, and right as the final bell rings, he gathers everybody that bought a ticket. He reaches into a bucket and pulls out the first one. That kid starts screaming. Then another, then a third. 3 winners. Now he finally explains the prize. Okay, so each winner gets to pick one day this summer, and on that day, I'm gonna drop off a giant bounce house to your yard for the whole day. And people went crazy because winning didn't just mean you got a bounce house in your yard for the day. It meant your house became the place that every kid wanted to be. It was gonna be a party. And those 3 parties ended up being the biggest and best ones of that summer that nobody ever forgot. The next year, he did it again, and he sold way more tickets than the first year. He made hundreds and hundreds of dollars selling raffle tickets for things his family already had. And that, my friends, is why you gotta respect the hustle. He robbed the teacher's lounge for months. In broad daylight during biology, he would leave class and walk straight into the teacher's lounge with so much confidence. He'd open the freezer, see what's in there, take an ice cream sandwich, open the fridge, take somebody else's lunch. If there were chips on the table, he'd grab like 7 bags. And he would literally nod at the teachers while he was taking their stuff. He was acting so confident, they didn't even question it. They assumed that he was there for a reason. That was the trick. And he would stand there having conversations. "Mr. Johnson, your test was freaking brutal last week." "I know I felt bad, but you did pretty good on it. You got a B, right?" "Yeah, it could have been an A though." "I'm just gonna grab this and leave. Take care." Literally talking to this teacher while he's stealing another teacher's apple, banana, granola bar. And it worked for months until one day, one person decided to finally question him. It was the vice principal. Yo, what are you doing in here?" All that confidence and swagger, and he never decided to think of a story of why he would belong there. So he was busted and suspended for 5 days. One day, this kid bought a bunch of clear iPhone cases for cheap, and he had this friend who was good with graphic design. So what he would do is he would have his friend make this cool design of whatever he wanted. His friend would then print it and cut it down so it would fit perfectly inside this phone case. And it looked awesome. Clear phone case, this graphic design insert, it was legit. Custom fit, looked expensive. He did it to his phone case first. It was an anime design and it looked awesome. People saw this and they were immediately intrigued. Well, interest grew. And soon, he was taking orders for people. NBA, anime, SpongeBob, Shrek. He was making these custom phone cases and selling them. Then he starts bundling them together. 3 phone cases for $10. 6 for $15. And business was absolutely booming. He kept buying these clear phone cases. His friend kept designing these designs and custom cutting them to fit the cases. And people were buying them. They were all over the school. The thing was, his friend that was designing these and printing them was using the school's printers. The IT guy realized how much printing had been done, and he told the principal. And this whole thing had to be shut down. But by then, he had made $530. And those phone cases became collectibles. Some students even reselling them for 3 times the price they bought them for. Honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. Everybody liked this one guy. Yo, it's like everybody. He was popular, funny, and he was always the center of every single party. So one night, there's this big party at somebody's house, and everybody's there. It's packed, there's music going, people chilling. Yo, this is a killer party, Johnny. Hey, thanks, man. I'm just honored that you're here. But you see, not everybody liked that kid. I hated him. So the kid that did not like him was talking to his friend. "I just don't like the guy. Yeah, I don't like him that much anymore either. Dude, I'm in a group chat with him, and look what he's been saying." You see, he gets shown this group chat, and the popular kid is in this group chat talking trash about everybody, even his friends, even the girls he's currently hanging out with at the party. "Hey, screenshot these and send me them." "Okay, don't say it was me." So he gets the screenshot, and then he plugs his phone into the HDMI port of the TVs in the living room of this party, and he pulls up all the screenshots. He turns off the music. "Everybody, look!" And he has these screenshots of all the horrible stuff he said right there on the TV. "Wait, what? No, That's not me. People are mad. No, guys, they're jokes. I'm just joking in these. But it's too late. He had fallen from grace and he was shoved out of that party really quick. The next day he was at school, he went from popular to loser really quick. Hey, that's karma. The ice cream truck pulled into the neighborhood. Music blasting, kids are sprinting up. One little girl ran up with some crumpled up cash in her hand. A couple minutes later, she walks back to her dad. She's not happy. Hey, what happened? I gave him the $10 bill you gave me, but he didn't give me change back. He only gave me a lollipop. He didn't even give me my ice cream. What? Yeah, and then he just drove away. Now, this dad was so mad. Who would frickin' do that to a little kid? So the next day, what that dad did was he drove to Costco and he bought a bunch of boxes of ice cream bars and ice cream treats and brings them back to the neighborhood. He set it up in coolers in his driveway and wrote a big sign. Free ice cream. Come up, everybody. Everybody is now with their kids in this dude's driveway enjoying some free ice cream. The ice cream truck comes. Come on, kids. But no one even entertains the guy. He just left. The next day he came back, but this dad was still doing the free ice cream thing. Nobody ever went to that ice cream truck again in that block, and he never returned after a while. Good. What a freaking jerk. This woman's daughter begged to learn piano, like, for weeks. So finally her mom says, okay, but I'm not buying you a real piano, it's a keyboard. Doesn't matter, it's fine, her daughter's still super hyped. So they go to Target and her mom buys her this keyboard. But there's a catch. Okay, so you want piano lessons, right? Well, here is what we're gonna do. 6 months minimum, no quitting early, and you practice 20 minutes a day. And the kid agrees. At first, it's fine. She's learning songs. She's really enjoying this. Then week 8 hits. She starts not practicing. She starts skipping. One day here, one day there. You know, she's getting more homework. School's stressful. She can't do it all. And her mom reminds her, listen, every day you don't practice, you owe me those minutes. You will make them up. Then comes the school trip. 3 days, 2 nights, her entire grade's going. She's been excited about this for months. And the mom goes, hey, so I know your trip is coming up this weekend, but you've missed 11 practice days on the piano. So before you go, you need to make up 11 hours of piano practice. The kid's like, wait, what? Yeah, if you do not make up the 11 hours, you are not going on that trip. So she has to make up 11 hours of piano practice. But the thing is, the trip is like 4 days away. That's a lot of piano practice. The dad tries to step in. Hey, we already paid for the trip. This is kind of ridiculous, don't you think? Kevin, I am teaching our daughter a lesson. If you don't want to support me on this, then get out. Well, the daughter tries to make up those 11 hours, but with homework and sleep, she can't do it, and her mom forces her to stay home from the trip. That is not okay. This kid scammed his entire school. Now, this kid didn't always do this, but he was very broke. So one day, he overhears that this girl named Jessica is having a birthday coming up. Doesn't even know her that well at all. But that night, he walks to the CVS by his house, and he buys a $2 birthday card. The next morning, hey, so Jessica's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm getting signatures in this birthday card, and I'm also collecting something small. Hi, can you sign this? I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday. Hey, I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday tomorrow. She's been having kind of a rough year, and I'm just trying to make her feel seen. People start signing the card. Some hand him $1. Oh, that's actually so sweet of you. Yeah, here's a few bucks. He's walking the cafeteria with this birthday card. That day, he got 20 signatures and $30, and he signs the card last. He says, you got this. We're all rooting for you. What? The next day, he walks up to Jessica with this huge smile. Hey, happy birthday. And he hands her the card, but not the money. She starts tearing up. No, because this is actually so nice of you. He does it again with a different kid. Anything helps. He's had a hard month. Boom, another $40. And he tries it again. Alex Johnson's birthday is tomorrow, and, I'm collecting some money. His dog just died. Little did he know that Alex Johnson was sitting at that table. Yo, I'm Alex, and my dog's fine. What the heck? Crap. People start catching on to this shenanigan, and within a week, the school's investigating this kid, and it's became this giant deal. But he made $217 before this whole thing collapsed, which is actually kind of genius and kind of impressive. Come on, you gotta respect the hustle. The senior prank was to fork the lawn, which means sticking forks all over the school's lawn. You see, at this one particular school, they used real silverware, and the seniors have been planning it for a long time. All right, guys, we have 3 months. Whenever you get the chance, steal a fork. You got it, Johnny. Brilliant plan, old chap. Every lunch period, they would be taking these forks secretly, and they were doing it slowly so it seemed like a natural disappearance of silverware. But by the end of spring, the seniors had hundreds of forks. And no other class knew. Then the night before their last day of school, they came to campus, quiet. And they took all of these forks and they shoved them into the lawn, evenly spread apart. And there were so many forks. By the time they were done, the grass looked like it had grown metal hair.
It's beautiful.
Bro, take that wig off. And the next day, administration went crazy. And the thing was, there was only one custodian left for that school year. This older guy. My name's Mr. Johnny. Hey, Mr. Johnny, can you please pull these forks out of the lawn? I don't want anybody tripping.
Oh, okay.
And then there he was, down on his hands and knees, pulling these forks out of the grass. Hundreds of them. Bending, sweating, he's working alone. A teacher finally came in to try to help him. Hey, Mr. Johnny, you can... That's when he saw his face. Mr. Johnny was crying.
Thank you.
That prank then went down in school history, but nobody ever talked about the guy that had to clean it all up. Hey, respect Mr. Johnny. This school had the stupidest rule. If it was a super hot day, kids couldn't play at recess. They had to just sit down. But here's the thing that didn't make any sense. They weren't sitting down inside or in the cafeteria or anywhere. They still went outside. They just couldn't play. Okay, it's a hot one today, kids. Have a seat. And they would make the kids sit on this black pavement. Ma'am, why can't we just sit inside? It's so hot out here. 'Cause it's recess, duh. 20 minutes later, the bell would ring, recess would be over, kids would stand up, they're sweating profusely, and they would stumble inside. Now, I guess it's better than running around in the heat. You know, kids could pass out. But still making them sit on the ground in the same heat is kind of just as messed up. And they weren't allowed to go inside. I think this was in Arizona. And that makes sense, I think. He's a grown man, afraid of frogs. You can't go fishing. You won't walk near a pond. If a nature documentary shows a frog, nope. If he sees a cartoon frog on a commercial, hey, turn this off. If he's at a pet store, he will not walk down the aisle where the frogs are.
I'm not going down there. Don't make me go down there.
And nobody understands it. One night, he's chilling with a friend, and his friend finally asks him, hey, bro, I always meant to ask you, what's your deal with frogs? He laughs it off at first. Then he goes quiet. He says it started when he was 8 years old. It was summer. He was at the pond behind his grandma's house. Him and his cousin were messing around near the water. When his cousin scoops something up, whoa, it was a frog. He then throws it at him. Catch! Before he could react, that frog hits him right in the chest. Splat! And it's stuck there, clinging to his shirt. He slowly looks down and he sees the frog staring right up at him. To this day, he swears that the frog blinked once and said this:
you would look better in a top hat.
He freaked out. He shoved that frog off his shirt and he ran home. So yeah, that's what happened.
That's so dumb.
Obviously, his buddy didn't believe him, but he knows what he saw and he knows what he heard. And to this day, he is still terrified of frogs. That's nuts. It started as this dumb thing. Some kid threw their own backpack into the air to be funny. Oh, it got caught on the top of one of the worst trees on campus. Thin branches, really high up, impossible to climb, it seemed like. They tried everything. Here, I'll throw my shoe at it. Dang it. I'll throw a trash can at it. Dang it. Nothing was working. That's when one kid suggested this. Guys, we should call Squirrel Boy. No way, dude. Bro, we can't call Squirrel Boy. But there was no other option. So every school has that one kid. Well, this school had Squirrel Boy. He wore fingerless gloves. He said things like, the ground is only a suggestion. He once perched on top of the basketball hoop during a game.
Get on from there.
He scaled the brick wall on the side of the school building just to prove a point. And one time, he sat at the top of the flagpole for the entire lunch period, perched. Everybody would make fun of him, but on that day, they needed him. Somebody texted him. 10 minutes later, jogged around the corner eating trail mix. Didn't ask what happened. He saw the backpack, he saw the tree, and he knew what he had to do. I got this. He literally climbed the entire tree in like 3 seconds, and he threw that backpack down. The second he got down, he just walked away. Thanks, Squirrel Boy. Yeah, thanks, Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy's cool now. And from that moment on, nobody made fun of Squirrel Boy ever again. This kid was sleeping over at his friend's house, and he wakes up in the middle of the night, hungry.
I'm hungry.
He remembers that there was graham crackers in the kitchen, and he figured that'll work. So he gets up and he steps out of the room. But the second he lays foot in the hallway,
What?
A motion sensor alarm goes off. Within seconds, the lights turn on and his friend's dad comes barging out of his bedroom. Who's out here?
You.
It's just me. I was getting a snack. The dad then pointed to multiple small boxes on the baseboard of the hallway. You see these, kid? Motion sensors. No one's allowed to leave their rooms after midnight. He heads back into the bedroom and his friend's awake.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry about that. Dude, that's so messed up. You have a curfew for inside your house. I know, it sucks.
And this was so uncomfortable for him that he never slept at that house ever again. From now on, you sit here by yourself.
I hate my life.
This kid was 10 years old, smartest kid in class. He aced every test, every assignment, but he was also super funny. Everybody loved him. And you see, the classrooms were set up like this. Round tables, and each table had like 5 people at it. Well, in this class, everybody wanted this kid at their table because he was just such a good time. That is until one day, the teacher deemed him too distracting. She pulled him away from his 5 friends and made him sit in a desk facing the wall at the back of the room. Sit down. And he was the only one back there. The rest of the class were sitting in their groups. Group projects, he worked alone. He wasn't allowed to talk. Week after week, he kept thinking, surely I'll be moved back to my table soon. But the teacher never let him. And slowly, he could feel the gap building. His friends got closer with each other and farther from him. That desk in the corner became his life. For 10 months. A punishment that was supposed to last a week lasted for 10 months. And that is not fair. This girl's parents were so strict. They banned birthdays at their house. No cake, no candles, no parties. So on her 13th birthday, her friends found out. Wait, so you never had a birthday party ever? Nope, never. They were stunned. That is so messed up. You know what? Tomorrow night, we're throwing you one. One of them's house was the perfect spot. A huge backyard, a pool, lights were already strung up for vibes, and they spread the word. By sundown the next day, the backyard was packed. Music blasting, kids cannonballing in the pool. The girl who was hosting the party's parents were there just to keep everyone safe, but they were just sitting back relaxing. Everyone was even chanting her name when she walked in. Marissa, Marissa, happy birthday, Marissa. And for the first time ever, she had a birthday cake with real candles in it. And right as she blew out those candles, there they were. She saw her parents walk into the backyard. Everyone got silent. What is this? Her friend stepped in. Hey, she deserves this. It's her 13th birthday. Her parents looked around and there was dozens of people just staring at them. They were uncomfortable, so they just said, all right, well, we'll pick you up here at 10, okay? 10 p.m. And they left. But still, that was the birthday that she would never, ever forget. Oh man, it's raining. Wait, one fall day, school gets let out and it just starts pouring rain. Sheets of rain drenching everybody running for the buses. Well, one kid looks around and instead of running to safety, he goes to the hill behind the school. He takes his backpack off and he dives straight down the muddy hill. Yo, look at Steven. They watch Steven shoot to the bottom of the hill. He's soaked, he's covered in mud, but he's laughing. He's having an amazing time. And just like that, a crowd forms and they join him. Yo, I'm next. And suddenly, half the school forgets about trying to stay dry in the rain. They all start to embrace it. They're lining up, one after the other, sliding down this muddy hill. Yo, this is so much fun. Right? People are covered in mud, their shoes are ruined, their clothes are just dirty. But for that one afternoon, nobody cared at all. It wasn't about looking cool or staying dry or getting home. It was just pouring rain, a muddy hill, and a ton of frickin' fun. And that's absolutely beautiful. 1 week before winter break, the principal called an assembly. If the entire school can go one whole week without any write-ups, on Friday will be a free day. Students were like, all right, heck yeah. Nobody thought they would actually do it because that sounds almost impossible. The entire school behaving well enough to not get write-ups. But 3 days in, it was working. I can't believe everyone's going along with this. It's nice. I got milk in my backpack. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody behaved. For the most of Thursday, things were going fine. But people were like, holy crap, we're gonna do this. So of course, there was one kid that couldn't help himself. Yo, dude, you good? I think I'm gonna ruin it. No, you're not. You're fine, dude. Just don't do anything. No, I wanna ruin it. It was 10 minutes before the bell rings. This kid goes in front of the principal's office and picks a fight with the secretary. I'm gonna leave early. No, you're not. You don't have a note. Yeah? Well, note this. Did you just knock over my pencil holder? Shut up, idiot. That's it. You are getting a write-up. Principal comes out, this kid gets a write-up, and the entire week was a waste. Friday wasn't a free day. And once the rest of the students found out what this kid did, they gave him hell for the rest of the year. Why would he do that? A freezing rainstorm hits overnight. Morning comes, and every single porch on the block is a sheet of ice. People are stepping outside trying to go to work, but they're slipping all over the place. But one kid, Billy, he planned for this. He saw the winter storm warning early. So the day before, he went to Home Depot and he bought 4 giant bags of ice melt with his Christmas money. And that morning at 7 a.m., he's outside in slip-proof boots, dragging a red wagon full of salt. $3, I'll melt your whole porch and driveway. $3, I'll melt it all. And the people that didn't have salt themselves, because this was a very unexpected storm, they paid him. Take my money. Oh, take my money. Milk. So he's sprinkling, he's scraping, ice is melting, neighbors are getting to their cars, other neighbors see, they want to use his service as well. Business is booming on this crazy morning. And anyone who says, I'm not paying for your salt, fine, then you can slip. Wait, come back, here. They always give in. He made some really decent money that day, and ever since then, they called him the Winter King. He was a lifesaver, and honestly, genius. Gotta respect the hustle.
So this kid had the biggest yard in the entire neighborhood. It's the yard that people always ended up hanging out at. But one summer, he had a bigger idea. He thought about those giant music festivals and how much money they make, and he thought, why not try to have one in my backyard? So first he held auditions. Bands, comics, magicians, whatever. Bring your instruments, bring your tricks, just show me what you got. And the best acts got a spot on the lineup. He built a stage out of stacked wood pallets and plywood. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. A friend brought an amp, some dude brought a microphone, it was all coming together. At the front gate of his yard, he had 2 friends working security. $10 a ticket. And inside, hot dogs and soda for $2 each, and his dad manned the grill. That night, the whole frickin' neighborhood showed up. Parents, kids, even people he didn't know. And the band was crushing it. Folding chairs around the bonfire, people dancing to the music. It was a beautiful sight. By the end of the night, they had made a really good amount of money. And he thought to himself, I'm gonna put this money towards doing it again next year. And that's exactly what he did. The next year, it happened again. Bigger and better. And he kept doing it. It wasn't just a big party. It became a tradition for the entire neighborhood. And they loved it. You gotta respect the hustle. One day, this group of middle schoolers decided they're gonna start a band. They got a rusty drum set, a broken amp, and one kid with a guitar who only knows like 2 chords. Well, here's what they did. They made flyers, and they put them around the school. Live garage concert, $1 admission, and they put the address. Well, after school, kids start showing up to this garage. The first day it was like 10 people, and these guys come out like they're freaking rock stars. What's up, everybody? What's up? You ready for a concert? And the people are like, yeah, sure, I guess. Just play something. And they launch into their one song. Garage music! Garage music! And it ends. That's it. Play something else. But they don't know anything else, so they just played the song again. Garage music! Garage music! And those kids left pissed off. But the thing is, people kept coming back every single week and paying the entry fee just so they could boo this band. Garage music! You guys freaking suck! Yeah, you guys stink! Every time there was a garage concert, these students would bring different foods to throw at them. And the band, they didn't really care. Because they're making $15 to $20 a show for only like a minute of music. Hey, gotta respect the hustle. The wrong grandkid. Every few months, she would get an envelope in the mail. Oh, sweet. It was Grandma's handwriting. Inside of it, a crisp $20 bill. And a note that said, for gas. I don't even drive, Mom. Grandma's old, sweetie. Let's not question it. Money's money. Years go by and the letters keep coming. Always the same message. For gas. Then one summer, the entire family's over for a barbecue. Well, her cousin pulls up. New car, loud music bumping. He's about 5 years older than she is. What's up, family? Grandma hugs him. She's laughing. Oh, I see that gas money's going to good use. The cousin goes, gas money? Yeah, I've been mailing it to you for years. Well, this girl overheard that. Grandma, you've been mailing me that. Oh, my fault. What had happened was the grandma had written down this address years ago. It was the wrong address. It was the address of Ashley Johnson. The grandkid she meant to send it to was Adam Johnson. So all she wrote on the letter was A. Johnson. You can see where the confusion would come into play. Well, Grandma, looks like you owe me like $300 now. Oh, no. Your cousin probably needed that money more than you do. I mean, look at your nice car. You got plenty of it. That's hilarious. Mrs. Johnson is intense. Every day after school, Mrs. Johnson's car would be waiting in the pickup line. Silver minivan, country music, air freshener shaped like a cowboy boot. She drove the same 3 kids home every afternoon, but she had one rule.
Before you got in the car, you had to say, "Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson." Then before you got out, "Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson." Same thing every single day. And if you forgot, you were screwed. On Tuesday, one of the kids, Evan, was running late. His backpack half zipped, sprinting to catch the minivan before it left. He yanks the door open and slides into the seat. But he forgot something. What did you forget? Nothing. Everything's here. I'm good to go. Try again. Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. Too late. Out of the car. No, please. My parents are both at work. I have no one to take me home. Out of the car. No. He steps out and she drives off. By the time this kid's mom picks him up, it's an hour and a half later, and the sun's beginning to set. That next morning, Mrs. Johnson picks Evan up at his house. And this time, he doesn't forget. Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. See? That wasn't so hard, was it? They lost him during a thunderstorm. The backyard gate swung open and their dog was gone. For weeks, they searched. They put up posters everywhere. They called different shelters. Nothing. Then one afternoon, they're driving home. Daughter sees something. Mom, that's Milo. Same golden fur, same curled tail, except a new collar. They pull over and they walk up to the door. Milo! His name's actually Charlie. He's cute though, huh? Feel free to pet him. Mom, do something. Where did you find him? We picked him up from the shelter. He was soaking wet, it was raining. We took him home. That's our dog. He was chipped. He wasn't chipped, and that's our dog. The girl kneels down. Milo, come here. See? He knows his name. Charlie, come here. But Milo didn't come. He was so happy to see his real owners. Quick, get Milo in the car. We're leaving now. Hey, wait. And they took the dog and they sped away. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. That's my freaking dog. That dude was seriously trying to keep him. That's messed up. So this kid spent his summer at yard sales. Every Saturday, he'd be out in the neighborhood scanning tables looking for sneakers at these garage sales. Didn't matter if they were brand new or perfect condition, any sneaker with a logo worked. Nike, Adidas, doesn't matter, and he was finding them. Some were $5 a pair, some were $8 a pair, some were free. Just take them, man. I don't want them anymore. Fantastic. He would take them home, scrub them with a toothbrush, swap them with brand new laces. He would then throw them up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And people were buying these shoes. $40, $80, sometimes even over $100. He said it was crazy how many rare shoes people were selling for like $5. His brother would come home every day from working at Subway, and this kid would just be sitting there counting his cash. His parents finally asked, "Kevin, where's all this money coming from, man?" And he just opened up his closet. Look at this. Reselling sneakers. By the end of summer, he had made more than his brother made the entire summer at Subway, all from reselling $5 sneakers. You gotta respect the hustle. Yo, this teacher messed up. So it started a week earlier when the fire alarm glitched, and it began going off every 30 minutes. People took it seriously at first, but when they realized it was a glitch, everybody got super annoyed. This has got to stop. And it was happening on and off for 3 days. So a week later, it eventually stops for a bit. And then a week later, it happens in Mr. Halverson's math class. But he is so fed up and traumatized from the previous week that he just keeps teaching over the alarm. Here we go again. E equals MC what? MC squared. A few students are confused and they stand up. But he's like, "Sit down, this is fake, we are not doing this again." And the whole class just sat there, staring, listening to the piercing sound of the alarm while being taught math by their unhinged teacher. Then, the door slams open. A firefighter storms in, full gear, smoke behind him, and he looks furious. "What are you doing? Get out! The building's on fire!" Everyone scrambles, backpacks are flying, the building is actually on fire, and Mr. Halverson is just standing there like, oh no. So yeah, Mr. Halverson, during an actual fire, forced 27 students to stay in his classroom. Yeah, he definitely messed up. This kid ran a crazy summer hustle. His neighbor's name was Mr. Henderson. I'm Mr. Henderson. And he had just left for a 2-week camping trip, but he left his in-ground pool unattended. Most kids would sneak over for a quick dip, but this guy had a different idea. He turned his neighbor's backyard into a literal water park, and he charged every kid on the block $5 for a day pass. Step right up, water park day pass is $5. And people were paying. It was immediately a full-blown operation. There was a cooler full of sodas, there were folding chairs everywhere, and the front yard front was a pile of bikes, and these two guys were by the gate, collecting $5 bills. On day 4, the party was at its peak. 15 kids in the backyard, cannonballs, Marco Polo. Some dude fired up Mr. Henderson's grill and was making hot dogs. Then, Mr. Henderson shows up. What in God's name is going on back here? You see, obviously, one of the other neighbors called Mr. Henderson to let him know what was going on. So he came back from his trip super early. Backyard was dead silent. But what Mr. Henderson did, nobody expected. You, come here. Yes? Listen, I'm going back camping, okay? You could stay here as long as you clean up every day, and by the time I get back, it needs to be spotless. You understand? Oh, yeah. Stay out of my house too, but have fun. And that was that. For the rest of the 2 weeks, those kids had the most fun they've ever had on a summer break. And yeah, that sounds awesome. After winter break, this new girl transferred to this school. Her name was Nicole. Nicole was kind of shy. She wore the same fleece jacket every single day. And at first, during lunch every single day, she would eat in her car by herself. But after a week, one of the girls from this lunch table decided to invite her to sit with them. Hey, I saw you eating in your car during lunch. Why don't you sit with us tomorrow? All right, yeah. Thanks. So the next day comes around and she's sitting at this table. She's not talking much at all. She's just smiling politely and eating her lunch. And she sat at this table for the next few days. And every day during lunch, she would pull out this tiny folded note and she would read it to herself. Then she would smile and put it back in her lunchbox. Well, one of the girls at the table asks this. Hey, so what's with the note thing? You do it every day. And Nicole says this. Oh, well, my nanny writes me a note with my lunch, and she's done that every day since I was little. Then another girl goes, isn't that, like, kind of embarrassing, though? Like, that's super babyish. You're not in 3rd grade anymore. Nicole's face changed. Oh, well, I mean, she does it for my little siblings, too. It's just something that she's always done. It's just super weird. The next day, she was gone. Back to eating in her car. No one saw her at lunch after that day. The person that originally invited her talked to her friends. She wasn't happy. You guys are horrible for that. She's had a really rough home life, and that nanny's like a mom to her, and I just can't believe you. And the worst part is, her friends laughed at her for sticking up for Nicole. That's messed up. I don't feel good. Puke somewhere else. It's finals week, and the hallways are dead silent during class. Everyone's either taking tests or they're doing reviews. Well, on this particular day, this one kid had not felt good. His stomach feels weird. He's nauseous. By midday, he's pale, and he can't hold it in anymore. So he sprints out of the classroom to the bathroom. He turns the corner to the nearest bathroom, and the janitor cart is parked right there. One bathroom is locked, and the other one is blocked. I gotta throw up, he said. Throw up somewhere else, the janitor replies. He tries to slip past him. No, stay back. Now he's panicking, but he sees the garbage bag hanging off the janitor's cart, so he decides he's just gonna throw up in there. But the janitor says, shoo, get out of here. And that's it. Kid just steps back, looks at the floor in front of him, and pukes all over it. He then backs up a bit and pukes more. Now he's leaving this like puke trail as he's stepping back. When he's done, he wipes his face and he looks at the janitor and says, well, looks like you're gonna have to clean that up, huh? And the janitor is mad. But there's nothing he can do because he's the one that refused this kid a safe, clean toilet to throw up in. So now that's what he gets. No high fives allowed. Huh? Why? Because it's assault. That was the actual rule. And no, that doesn't make sense. People couldn't celebrate high five each other. If a teacher saw a high five, they would jump in, pull it apart, and both those kids were getting to frickin' detention. And they always said, aggressive behavior will not be tolerated. So that's dumb rule number 1. Then they started a new rule. The only liquids or beverages that students were allowed to bring into school were water and milk. And if it wasn't water or milk, they would take it away. They would check students' lunch bags every single morning as they were walking into school. Coffee from home? Gone. Flavored water? Gone. Gatorade? Gone. Tea? Get the heck out of here. One student had laryngitis and his throat was hurting him bad. The doctor said he could bring tea with hot honey to school. He even had a note, but the school took that note, ripped it, and dumped that tea out. You know the rules. I hate my life. And this was a kindergarten through 12 school, and these rules applied to everybody. The school also served the same lunch every day. 3 chicken nuggets and 3 carrots. And kids weren't allowed to bring anything else. Nobody knew what the point of this was, but what I do know is that sounds like the worst school ever. Every year, during the week of Halloween, there was Costume Day. On that day, kids went all out. Witches, zombies, villains, fake blood, the whole 9 yards. Well, on this particular year, there was a new principal. Fully buttoned up shirt, by the book, he never smiled.
Attention students, this year, there will be no violent costumes on Costume Day. That means no witches, no monsters, no villains.
So pretty much no Halloween.
Just get creative, guys. You'll still have fun.
Everybody was mad, but one kid spread this genius idea around the school, and pretty much everything went along with it. So Friday came. It was Costume Day, and almost every single kid walks into school that day wearing the exact same costume. Khakis, blue button-up shirt, weird wig, glasses, and a name tag that said Principal Hawthorne. Principal Hawthorne is standing in the hallway watching hundreds of mini-me's walk by him. What is going on? This is disrespectful. This costume is not allowed. No, it's allowed. It's not violent, isn't it? Your rule backfired. I hate my life. This kid started hiding $5 bills in random library books at school. Not every book, just random ones. One day a kid checked out a book, $5. And there's a note. The note said, "Congrats on finding one of the many $5 bills I hid in books." Within 2 weeks, the library was packed with kids, but not because they wanted to read. Kids would walk into the library, pull 20 books off the shelves, go through them, and leave them on the floor. The librarians were like, "What the heck is going on in here?" The principal called an assembly and said, "Whoever is hiding money inside of library books like they're frickin' Willy Wonka, please stop. You're causing chaos." The kid who did it never admitted to it. And legend has it, to this day, there are still some books in the library with money in them. And every so often, a student will go in there, searching, hoping to get lucky. Have you ever wondered how a middle school science lesson could save an entire building from exploding? This 8th grader named John was sitting in chemistry class learning about natural gas. His teacher explained that rotten egg smell isn't actually natural. They add a chemical called mercaptan so people can detect leaks. Your nose can literally smell it at 1 part per billion. Regardless, John thought this was cool. Hey, that's cool. Well, the very next day, during a science lab in a different science class, he noticed a very faint smell of rotten eggs. He raised his hand and said, "Mr. Stevens, I think there might be a gas leak." Well, the teacher brushed it off and said, "John, that's probably from a different experiment or you're making things up." "No, I'm serious. It smells exactly like what Mr. Zern taught us yesterday." But the teacher told him just to sit down and stop disrupting class, please. So John did something bold. He walked straight to the office and he told the principal, "There's a gas leak in the lab. I'm pretty positive." The principal took him very seriously and he pulled the fire alarm himself and evacuated the entire school. Turns out there was a massive gas leak in the science building. The fire department said that if anybody lit a burner, which they were going to, the whole science wing could have exploded. John literally saved the school because he remembered a lesson from the day before. And yeah, that teacher definitely apologized to him. Big time. That's insane. This kid was so quiet, he was made fun of for it. People said he was weird, awkward, boring, but then one day, the talent show happened. His name was Marcus. He never caused trouble, he sat alone at lunch, and he didn't talk much. So when his name got called at the talent show, people were like, "Wait, Marcus?" Then Marcus walked on stage. He didn't have a smile, there was no intro, he just grabbed the mic, looked at the tech guy, and nodded. Then he opened his mouth and he sang opera. Like real opera. Some of it was in Latin, he had vibrato, the entire auditorium was silent. People were gasping, one girl started crying. "This is beautiful." At the end of the song, he stopped and put the mic down. A second of silence, and then... yes! Standing ovation. And he's standing there, taking it all in. Thank you! He was kind of a legend for the rest of the year. But after that year, he had transferred schools and nobody saw him again. Until a couple years later, he got a full ride scholarship to Yale, where he's now getting his doctorate. You know, people were calling him weird, but turns out he was in a whole different league. The kid's gonna be a star. She was holding up a stapler like it was a weapon. This is not a toy. Okay? Then she passes it around the class so that everyone can hold it and look at it for some reason. Now, this was the first day of first grade, and these kids are looking at the stapler like it's gonna frickin' explode.
Oh.
One kid's cradling it like a baby. Good stapler. Then it gets to him, and without hesitation, he takes that stapler and staples the palm of his hand. The room goes completely silent.
Why did you do that?
The whole reason the teacher did this was that the students can familiarize themselves with the stapler and not hurt themselves. But this kid said screw it. And now he's in pain. They rush him to the nurse. He gets a staple taken out of his hand. And the funny part is, he did the exact same thing the next week. Some people never learn. He pre-ordered a cake for his mom's birthday. Okay, I'll pick it up soon. It was a custom order. He walks into the bakery, gives the pickup name, Carlos. Okay, I have your cake right here. Then a woman steps closer to him. Hi, that's a really nice cake. It is, right? Can I have it? No, sorry, it's a custom-made cake. But custom-made cakes take so long, I want yours. The guy just turns his back to walk away, but this woman turns him around. Okay. No, don't walk away from me. Excuse me? Give me that cake right now. Absolutely not, it's my mom's birthday cake. Well, me and my kid want it more than your mom. This guy sees the kid buyer and looks at him. Leave me honest. The kid doesn't even care. The worker comes over. Hey, what's going on in here? I want that cake. The worker says no, so this woman tackles the guy. Hey man, run! Take your cake and get out of here! The guy then escapes the shop with the cake, while this woman and the worker are fighting on the floor. The cops were called, and that woman was arrested. But seriously, who crashes out that hard over a cake? Doesn't make any sense to me. She's nuts. He's the new kid at a new school, and there's a big rally happening in the gym. It's packed. He's trying to find a seat, but he doesn't want to be noticed. He's kind of shy. Well, there's music blasting, the bleachers are shaking, he's trying to sit down. He's walking up the bleachers, and he's like, all right, just walk fast, be confident, take a seat, it's not that hard. So he starts jogging. Okay. Well, that's when his foot catches something, and he falls down. But as he falls, he grabs onto this one kid. Well, that kid grabs onto somebody else. And suddenly, it's this full-blown domino effect. Bodies just tumbling down these bleachers. 25 to 30 kids, all just falling, bouncing, rolling down. And it was loud. The sound was unreal. People were screaming. The music stops. Once the falling was done, there's a pile of humans on the floor of the gym. And then the laughter erupts. One by one, people are getting out of the pile until him at the bottom is seen. He started this! And now everybody's laughing at him. For the rest of the year, that kid was known as Bleacher Boy. But it kind of worked out in his favor because people thought it was hilarious. Nobody made fun of him. They just remembered as the day this kid caused the funniest human avalanche ever. Have you ever wondered how some parents can be so cruel? There was this family where the dad had a rule for everything. No phones at the dinner table. No friends over without a 48-hour notice. Bedtime at 9 p.m. sharp, even on weekends, no exceptions. And his teenage daughter had to keep a handwritten log of what she did every single hour of every single day. And if you don't do it, you're in big trouble. Which is completely insane. Well, one day, this girl forgot to log what she did after school, and her dad completely loses his mind. Takes her phone, her laptop, her journals, her books, and her TV, everything she enjoys, and he locks them in the garage. You can have them back when you write me an apology letter. Well, she wrote one. Not good enough, do it again. Then she wrote another one. Not good enough, do it again. She did it like 30 or 40 times before she just gave up. She never gets her stuff back, and the dad doesn't budge. He keeps saying, I told you, write me an acceptable apology and you get it back. But nothing was ever good enough for him. After this girl turned 18, she never spoke to her father ever again. And I think she's way better off. That's messed up. The most uncomfortable dinner ever. So this kid gets invited to his friend's house for dinner. Everyone's sitting at the table and the drinks are poured. This kid said that he wants milk, please. He gets poured milk, everyone else gets poured their drinks, and they start to eat dinner. But then he takes a sip of his milk. But the entire table stops eating and stares at him. The dad slowly looks at him, dead serious. In this house, we do not drink until you finish your meal. Wait, he repeats himself. In this house, we do not drink
until we finish our meal. He's like, okay, yep, got it. Will not drink my milk until my meal's gone. He was horrified. Hey, bro, you should apologize to my dad. Seriously? Yes. I'm really sorry, sir. Once they were all done eating, his friend's dad tried to punish him. He said, because of what you did at dinner, I want you to take your shoes off and run 3 laps around the house. Mind you, it was freezing cold outside and there was snow on the ground. This kid just said, no, I am not doing that. He called his mom picked him up, she told her what happened, and he never went there ever again. What kind of dad does that?
For his grandpa's birthday, this kid wanted to do something special. He wanted to give his grandpa a custom phone case covered with photos of all 9 cousins. So 6 weeks before his grandpa's birthday, he texts all the cousins. So send me a recent picture of yourself so I can include you. Thanks. 2 weeks go by, no response. He reminds them again, but this time he adds a warning. If you don't send one, I'm putting a picture of my dog on there instead. Well, 3 cousins reply with, just grab one off my Instagram. Well, he doesn't. The day before the deadline, he sends out one last text. You have 24 hours or it's the dog. And they still don't say anything. So when Grandpa's party comes and he unwraps the gift, there it is. 9 photos of this dude's dog. Oh, this is fantastic. He loved it. And these pictures of his grandson's dog, they were awesome. One picture was a dog in a sombrero. The next one, he was wearing a chicken costume. There was one of the dog in a pumpkin patch. Just these really fun, awesome pictures. Well, the cousins are embarrassed, and the cousins' parents are furious. They're like, you did this on purpose. You are petty. But Grandpa, he thinks it's hilarious.
Best phone case I've ever had.
And that's awesome.
There was 7 friends in the basement of the house. Blankets on the floor, video games going, pizza, junk food everywhere. All the makings of a great sleepover. Well, before the night really even started, the mom walked down the stairs and said this.
Midnight. You guys better be asleep by midnight.
Everyone nodded. Yeah, sure, okay. Because let's be honest, every parent says it at a sleepover, but that never is what happens. So they went all in. Xbox tournaments, Mario Kart, laughing loudly, telling crazy stories. It was awesome. Well, it's midnight. It's 12:01. And the party's still going. They're still being loud. It's now 12:30 a.m. And they're even louder. Then the basement door slams open and the mom comes downstairs. And she's mad.
Get your phones out now. Every single one of you is calling your parents you're getting picked up tonight.
Wait, what? Like all of us?
Yes, all of you. Sleepover is over.
And by 1 a.m., the basement living room was empty. Just blankets and crumbs. And that mom's very, very sad kid. I mean, yeah, I get being frustrated that your kid and his friends are being loud, but hey, they're kids. This is messed up.
This is actually genius. There was this kid named Max in 8th grade, and he turned faking sick into a full-time business. He wasn't the popular type, but he had a knack for details. He knew every single school nurse's shift, and he knew every symptom that would get people sent home fast. One day, his buddy is stressing about a math test.
Dude, I didn't study. I'm so screwed.
Give me $10 right now and I'll have you home by lunch.
Okay.
He hands over $10 and Max goes into his backpack and he pulls out this little clear balloon looking thing. And inside it was a very strange substance. Take this, go to class, put it in your mouth and then act sick. Walk up to the garbage can and bite down. Then spit all the stuff out into the garbage can. It's gonna taste horrible, but it'll look like you actually puked.
Seriously?
Trust me. It also smells like real puke, so they'll believe you. Well, he goes to class and he does exactly what Max told him to do. The teacher was like, oh, sweetheart, oh my God, you're sick. Oh my God, it smells like puke. Yes, you are very sick. Go to the nurse. Go home. Bingo. Goes to the nurse calls his parents, boom, he goes home, studied for the test, takes the test a day late, and he passes. Word spreads to a few select people, and Max ups his prices. $20. Each case was specialized on different ways to get them sent home. He even had package deals where he would include forged doctor's notes or heating pads to put on your forehead so it felt like you had a fever. And if people couldn't pay right away, he would help them out. They would just owe him. But then he would have runners that would go get the money from them, no matter what. It was a serious business. Eventually, the teachers found out about this, and this came crashing down horribly, and he was suspended. But for a while, he ran the craziest business that school had ever seen. And honestly, it's kind of genius. Gotta respect the hustle.
It was the hottest week of summer. This one kid shows up to the park with a big red cooler. He opens a chair right next to it and sits down. And when people start complaining about the heat, he pops open his cooler. And inside is dozens of popsicles. I got all sorts of flavors. Red, blue, grape, $3 each. Oh, hey bro, where'd you get all these? Costco, baby. And that day he sold out. And he did it again the next day. By day 3, he's got dry ice in his cooler. And the second he rolled up to the park, people were already there waiting for him with cash in their hand. Soccer kids, the basketball court kids, even younger kids with their parents. One afternoon, this happened. I'll take one red one, please. All right, that's $5. Wait, what? I thought it was $3. I'm sorry, man. It's 95 degrees. Prices go up over 90. Pretty soon, he's known as the popsicle guy, and he's walking out with like $50 to $70 of cash every single day. Business was absolutely booming. What a good summer hustle. One day, the park manager walks by. Excuse me, man, you had a permit for this? It's hot out today, isn't it? Oh, man, it's brutal. Here, take 2 popsicles on the house. My man. And that was that. He continued that for the rest of the summer. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid turned a broken vending machine into a business. So during construction at this one school, it got moved to this weird corner by the band room. Most people ignore it. It's kind of like cracked. The lights don't work in there. It just looks off. This one freshman notices something. If you tilt the keypad kind of forward, it'll come off. There's a bunch of random little switches and buttons behind it. And he realized if you just press a bunch of these buttons, snacks just start falling out of the vending machine. It was broken vending machine. What does this do? Oh my gosh. So instead of going nuts, he keeps this quiet. Starts posting on Snapchat, $1 chips, meet by the band room. By this point, he had gathered a bunch of snacks from this vending machine, and people were lining up to pay for these snacks. And the thing is, he's selling these for cheaper than the vending machine charged because, well, he got them for free. By the end of the first week, it was a full-blown snack operation and he made $80. But one day, a custodian was kind of watching him from afar and saw what he was doing.
What is that kid doing?
Nice.
Dear God.
The day after that, the vending machine was moved. But by that point, most of the snacks were gone anyway, and he made a good amount of money. So, hey, you gotta respect the hustle. You see, it started in 5th grade. Every morning, he would flip open this little blue notebook. His notebook would have 2 columns. On the left, it would say prediction. On the right, it would say results. What was he doing, you ask? He was predicting people's sneezes. And to him, it wasn't a joke. But he would track sneezes every day. And the freaky part was, he got weirdly accurate. It would be math class. He would sit down, he would open the notebook. On the left, under prediction, he would put Ben. 10 minutes later, Ben would sneeze. Under result, he would put Ben. It would be English class. He would sit down. Under predictions, he would put Kylie. 15 minutes into class, Kylie would sneeze, but there were some days where he's like, I don't think anybody's gonna sneeze today. So under prediction, he would put nobody. You see what I'm saying with this? Nobody knew what the point was until the last day of school. Somebody asked him, yo bro, can I see your sneeze notebook? You know what, man? Yeah, here. And there it was, pages and pages and pages of sneeze predictions. And on the last page, the results. Total sneezes predicted correctly, 114. Incorrect predictions, 9. Accuracy rate, 92.7%. He gave the notebook back to the kid, the bell rang, and then it was summer break. I don't know why he did that, but it does kind of sound like a fun thing to do in class. Who's to say?
Yo, I got a shortcut.
Through there? So after school one day, this kid swears he found a shortcut home. He's pointing to this giant cornfield like, trust me, it's way faster. Now a bunch of kids are skeptical. Bro, that's not a path. That's just corn. But half the group follows him anyways. At first, it's funny. They're laughing, they're pushing through the corn stalks, they're making jokes. Then 10 minutes pass, there's no road. It seems like it's just endless corn. Wait, we passed this corn stalk already, didn't we? It's all corn, man! Trust me, just we'll keep walking. After a bit more walking, panic does begin to kick in, and their phones aren't working. The sun's setting, you can hear coyotes in the distance. You hear that? We're gonna die! By the time they finally stumble out of the cornfield, it's dark, they're dirty, scratched up, and dehydrated. And what do they see throughout the neighborhood filling these streets? Police, firefighters, parents, everybody freaking out. Turns out, word spread fast, and when this group of kids never came home, things got crazy.
Hey, a bunch of kids never came home today. Get every unit out there right now, we gotta find them!
The whole town formed a frickin' search party. And this shortcut, it added 4 hours. And the kid that had this idea never lived it down. That's insane. This teacher is insane for this. This class had just finished reading Lord of the Flies in English. And the teacher? She was passionate, maybe too passionate. So after they had finished reading this Lord of the Flies, the next day she tells them this. Class, we are going into the woods tomorrow. Bring a backpack full of things. We're gonna live like the boys on the island. So next day they come with backpacks full of stuff and they head to the woods. No rules, no roles, just chaos. She hands them bandanas and points to the woods behind the school. All right, go. One teacher and 20 students. And these weren't just regular kids. Somebody brought a pillowcase full of flour.
and was whacking people with it. Another kid filled a spray bottle with perfume and was spraying in another kid's eyes, trying to blind them. Take that. Soon there was turf wars, alliances, groups getting ambushed. Kids were using mud as war paint. They were getting feral. And the teacher was just standing there at the edge of the woods watching this go down like it's some sort of social experiment. Yes. 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 And it went way too far. Kids were getting bloody noses, one person was throwing up profusely, I don't know why, and the teacher didn't get in trouble for this, not even like a warning or anything. The principal didn't even know about any of this until a parent called a couple days later, but he still did nothing. And the crazy part is, the next year, this teacher did the same exact thing. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun.
So it's midnight on a Friday, and two friends, Ryan and Caleb, they sneak out to get Taco Bell. So they grab the car keys off the kitchen counter. We'll bring the car back before anybody notices. Heck yeah, dude, this is so awesome. They get in the car and they take off, windows down, music blasting. They're laughing, having the time of their life, when the car begins to make a little puttering noise. Dude, what's that noise? Oh, it's nothing, bro. Don't even worry about it. But it wasn't nothing. The car begins to slow down and then it stops completely. Oh, crap, we're out of gas. Dude, are you serious? Yeah, but look, there's a gas station right there. We'll just push the car, we'll be fine. So they put the car in neutral, put the car's hazards on, and they push the car up to this gas station. Oh, we did it. Perfect. Oh crap, I don't have my wallet. Can you put some gas in? Yeah, I don't have my wallet either. What? Do you have Apple Pay? No, they didn't even have any frickin' money. Even if they made it to Taco Bell, they wouldn't have been able to buy anything anyway. That's insane. So they put the car back in neutral and they started pushing. 1 mile, then 2. A cop car passes once. Oh, but it doesn't stop. By the time they rolled it back into the driveway, the sun was beginning to rise. They're drenched in sweat, they're dead silent, and they get inside. Thankfully, everybody is still asleep. Bro, dude, that was insane. And the crazy part is, I'm still freaking hungry, man. That's crazy.
It's a big family birthday party. All the cousins are the same age, around middle school. There's cake everywhere, balloons, pizza crust on the couch. By 8 p.m., the party's over. The adults are done. One of the aunts says, "All right, kids, that's a party. Nobody's leaving till we all help clean up." One cousin says, "No, I'm not cleaning this. I gotta go home, man. I mean, I don't want to clean it either, but what do we do?" "I have an idea." That cousin then just drops to the ground. Full body collapse, right on the floor, and everyone's screaming, "Oh my God, Corey! Corey, wake up!" The kid's not moving at all. One of the cousins is like, "Okay, bro, joke's over, stop." But Corey is just committing to this. His eyes are closed, he's limp, he's silent while people are shaking him. "Come on, Corey, get up, get up." What he didn't know was one of his uncles was in the kitchen and called 911. So now, paramedics burst into the house. "Where is he? Where is he?" That's when he's like, "I'm better now." Everybody explodes. The parents are furious. The cousins are like, "Bro, that was way too far." He's grounded for months. The ambulance leaves, and now all the cousins are forced to clean up double time. They didn't just have to clean up from the party. They had to now clean all the bathrooms and rake the yard. It was insane. So his little bit to get him out of cleaning made things 10 times worse. There was this kid in middle school who was so fast at taking tests. He would always finish before everybody else. Done. Math test, first one done. History quiz, sped through it. One day it was a Scantron test, and he finishes it in less than 10 minutes. It then gets graded, and the teacher comes over. "Hey, you, nobody finishes a 60-question test in under 10 minutes. You cheated." I did not." The class is quiet. The two of them argue for a long time. The principal gets involved, and finally, "Fine, you know what? You stay after school, we're taking this test. Just you, me, and the principal in the same room." And what she does is she switches the answers on the Scantron, so it's different now. Well, after school, he sits down, he gets a different version of this test, and he goes. In 7 minutes, he's done. Done. Grades it on the spot. Another 100%. But this isn't possible. Mrs. Johnson, I think he's just really smart. You're good to go home, buddy. The teacher doesn't even apologize, but she never accused him of stuff ever again. And even though she saw it with her own eyes, for the rest of the year, she still never fully trusted him. He's just a genius. Every school has that one kid who is super talented at something random. At this one school, his name was Marcus, and he was amazing at flipping water bottles, but not the normal way. He was able to flip these water bottles and have them land on their cap on crazy surfaces, like the edge of a chalkboard. Watch this. Nice. He made it look so effortless that this one kid in his class wanted to try it for himself. It was study hall, very quiet, and he's sitting there. He's got a half-empty Gatorade bottle, and he's thinking to himself, this is my chance. I'm gonna flip this bottle, land it on its cap on the teacher's desk. You see, Marcus was in this study hall as well. Well, this kid went for it, gave it a flip. Marcus is gonna be so impressed. Here we go. It was like slow motion. Flip, flip, flip. But suddenly, the cap fell off. He didn't tighten it enough. And this Gatorade just spills all over the teacher's desk. What the heck is your problem? He panicked. Marcus did it, Marcus said. But no, I didn't, bro. The teacher said, yeah, I don't believe that. Marcus is a god at flipping bottles. Teacher knew how good Marcus was. He didn't believe this kid for a second. I'll take myself to the office. Yeah, that's a good idea. Tough break. This kid got a summer job at a golf course when he was 13 years old. I'm 13. I work at a golf course. His whole job was simple. When golfers finished their round, they would drop off their golf carts. He would hose it down, then they would get the golf carts and take it away. After a couple of weeks, his bosses trusted him with the golf carts, even to drive him sometimes. Then one afternoon, he's taking this really nice golf cart back to the clubhouse. Well, there's a pond between him and the cart barn. Cuts the corner a little too tight. One tire slips off the path. He jerks the wheel. The whole cart is sliding. He's hitting the brake, but nothing's happening. I'm hitting the brake. Nothing's happening. And then splash. Him and the golf cart in the pond. He jumps out just before this thing sinks. Now he's standing there soaking wet, staring at what he just did, and he's terrified. But wait till he finds out whose golf cart that was. Club manager comes running over after hearing the ruckus. What happened over here? Please tell me that wasn't cart 12. That was cart 12. Turns out that was the mayor's brand new golf cart that he was keeping there at the club, and now it was sitting at the bottom of a pond. The mayor comes out. Hey, is that my cart in the water? I want him fired. What? Listen, I'm sorry, kid, but you're fired. I mean, yeah, I guess that does make a little sense.
এই তো সাবাস
ও ভাই 1000 আইজুদ্দিন ভাই দেখে দিছে সালাহুদ্দিন ভাই দেখলে রোগী বাঁচে এবারে তোরা তো দরও তো প্লেয়ার
কই যাবেন?
আরে যাবো কে আমি সেরেন না এখানে এই এলাকার সবচেয়ে ভালো ক্লিনিক কোনটা হেন যাব হ্যাঁ দ্রুত চলে যান
এদিকে কথা আছে
জানতো দ্রুত চলে যান হিসাব শেষ তার কাছে যাইস না আচ্ছা এই তোরা বাটা তুই কত 3600 দিতে
3700 ভাই 3700 নিচে নামবে না
তুমি কাউরে ঠকাও না তোমার জন্য কারো বাপ মরে নাই আমার ছোটবেলায় এই হাসপাতালে আশপাশে ঘুরঘুর করে বড় হইছি
করছে।
মা আমি সত্যিই জানি না কি হয়েছে, কেন শৈলী এমন করছে।
তবু যাচ্ছি বহু দূরে পাশাপাশি।
জি স্যার, ঠিক আছে।
চোবারে সীমাহীন বলা হবে কিসের গল্প।
আমি আমার মেয়েকে খুব ভালো মতো জানি। আমার মেয়ে কোনো ভুল করতে পারে না। যদি কোনো ভুল করে থাকে, নেই আমার হাতে।
এর উপর হাত রেখে এই জীবনটা কাটিয়ে দেয়া।
তুমি কি কখনো কাউকে বল সবকিছু ঠিকঠাক তো তোমার?
ঠিকঠাক। তোমার?
তবে চলার পথে দুজনের সিদ্ধান্তকেই দুজনে গুরুত্ব দিতে হয়।
মেয়ে তো হয় না। আব্বাও যে আমাদের এভাবে ছেড়ে চলে যাবে।
বোমে মরিচ?
খুব ভালো হয়।
বোমে মরিচ দেন। দেখতো ফুচকাটা হলো কিনা।
একটু নেন না।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, মামা আসুক তারপর শুরু করি।
আমরা সবাই মিলে তোরে মাফ করে দিল। আল্লাহ তাআলা তোর জীবনও মাফ করে।
সুস্থ মানে হ্যাঁ নাচবেন না কোনো বিবেকবান সুস্থ।
কারণ এরকম ব্যবহার করছিল ওই দিন।
পানিটা খাও। আহা বসতে দে, বসেন না। রিক্সার ব্যাটারি ডাউন হয়ে গেছে।
বসেন বসেন।
মা তুমি এসব চিন্তা করো কেন?
এক নাম্বারই দিছি, তোমার আম্মা ভালো হয়ে যাবে। চল।
ধন্যবাদ। একটা মিনিট, আপনি মেডিকেলেরই কিছু একটা ব্যবসা করেন?
তুই জানো না কি করে?
কিছু খাবা না?
আপনার কথা শেষ করেন, তারপর খাবেন।
আসতে পারলি না। কাম কাজ গুছাইছো কিছু?
না, তুমি গুছাইছো?
আমিও তো কিছু গুছাইতে পারিনি।
নতুন ডাইরেক্টর আইছে, আইছে পর বলে মেডিকেলের অবস্থা ভালো, পাবলিক সব দেই হেনে যায়।